Hey YouTube, this is Dawn Star with Frugal Mommy Mills. So tonight we are going to be having chili. So these are the ingredients. Right here is about a little more than a pound of ground beef. We are doubling the recipe so that we can freeze for extras. And my husband also takes this for lunch for the next day, so we'll have a pretty decent sized batch. Here we have this chili seasoning. This is hot chili seasoning. Any brand you prefer, or you could also have medium as well. That would work fine. There are 4 cans of the chili beans in their sauce. Do not drain them. A can of diced tomatoes. They happen to be Italian because that's what I had in my pantry. 4 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. I prefer the no salt added. And then cayenne pepper, mixed garlic, as well as some chili powder, because we like it really spicy. Most people won't want extra on top of those. And then we also have 2 onions that we will chop and we'll cook up with the ground beef. So I'm going to get that started and we will come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, you guys, here is my ground beef browned up. It has 1 onion that cooked with it, and it's been drained. And now we're going to start adding everything. Wonderful garbage bowl that I learned from Rachel Ray. Okay, now that's the 4 cans of chili beans, and now I'm going to add the diced tomatoes with their juice because they're not in a lot of juice. It just adds a little bit of extra flavor. And then the 4 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. Like I said, this is a double recipe, so you can cut it in half if you have a smaller family or you're not planning on freezing any or taking any for lunch, but there are some great leftovers that you can make with chili. So get all that in, and then we're going to put the seasoning mix in. Okay, now just stir that all together, and then once that's stirred together I will come back. Okay, so I mixed that all together, and I'm starting to add about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of garlic, depending on how much you like it. And I also added about half of the second onion that I cut up. We use the other half as a garnish on top while we're eating it. And now I'm going to add more chili powder, and this is a preference for us. We like it quite spicy. So most people will skip this part, and we'll put a good half tablespoon of that in it, as well as, if I get it open, a couple sprinkles of cayenne pepper. Like I said, we do like it quite spicy. So I'm going to stir this together, and it does make, as you can see, a full pot of chili. And what I like to do in my cooking is I cook big amounts and then I freeze most of it, because how I grew up, we had a lot of people around, and the recipes I've learned from my mother were large recipes. And for us, since it's just my husband and I and Jackson, who's not quite eating this food yet, I just make the same amounts my mom would, and we just, you know, eat it for lunch the next day. And then we also freeze it. And then next week, we will defrost it and we will have it again. And I think that's one of the easiest ways to be frugal, is because it really makes it really, really easy to meal plan that way. Because you know what you're going to have, and you, like, cook once, eat twice idea. And if you're busy and you work, to come home, you know, to homemade chili, well, as homemade as you could get from a can, without doing much work besides defrosting it. It's really nice. So I'm going to just let that come to a bubble, and then we will come back and we will taste it and see if we need to add anything else. Okay, you guys, now you can see it is really starting to bubble and boil. And at this point, if you are rushed for time, you can serve it, because the meat is, as you know, already cooked thoroughly through, as well as the beans are already cooked. And you just really needed to heat everything through and let it meld together. But if you want a stronger chili flavor, a more, how would you say it, like from scratch tasting, I would just turn down the heat to low and just let it simmer for half hour. So whenever, you know, right now for us it's 7:15. My husband works until 1 a.m. and doesn't get home until 1:30. So what I will do is I will probably cook this for, on the lowest it'll go for probably about 45 minutes. And then I will shut it off and let it cool. And then I will take the portion that we're going to freeze, and I'll freeze that, and then I'll put this back on the stove about 1 o'clock, 10 after 1, so that it is piping hot for when he gets home. And you could serve it with a side of cornbread. That would be really easy, but we're not big on that. We kind of just like our soups alone. So this is Frugal chili that is done start to finish, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes with everything. So if you guys have any questions or comments, just let us know. Talk to you guys later. Bye.